Happy New Year from Engineer 775. It's kind of before the new year, but I'm trying to get this system done, but this video probably won't go up. So Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And this is the last week of 2023 and we're trying to get a system in. And it's an outdoor damp location, very tight, trying to get everything to code, trying to get everything to fit, and try not to forget anything. So we start off with an outdoor gutter. We're going to put a Sol-Ark 15K. We're going to put our traditional bypass. They will both be sitting on the gutter. This meter is very low to this deck situation, so we want to move all these loads, because we want to back them up, into a load panel. That's what we're doing here. And then we'll have our grid disconnect. So I'm thinking we can pass through the meter can, land it on a disconnect, come out, get over to my bypass, land it on top of the bypass, and then get over into the inverter. That'll take care of the grid side, which I think is the easiest. Then load side, got a lot of room in these bypasses to take the load, maybe after hitting a PDB, come back into that disco, and then down and land on that main breaker, and we should be good.
Very forgiving space.
He's being a little facetious this morning.
No, I mean inside the disconnect, not at all. No, not at all.
So, and then the other guys are working on drawing it out before we put ourselves in a corner.
Yes, sir.
And then we got a ground mount out here to bring up. Oh, and there's a pine that's got to go. See that dark shadow right there? There's a pine that's not being very nice to our array. But it's early. I know he's going to cut the top of that pine out. And Wes and James are getting to it with wiring up the array. And then we're going to pull about a 300-foot pull into the inverter. We got batteries going in a crawl space. That's a new one. Kind of. But we'll show you that in a bit. Okay, we're getting there. We're trying. We got the inverter in place, bypass, disconnect, non-fused because we have a 200 amp main breaker here. We got an extra load panel we've just added, so that will subfeed the so we got all the loads out of here they're going to come over here. For tonight we're temping this up. So and we just temped it up. He's got power for his wood boiler. And we got to get his air handler just temp for tonight. We got battery cables run under. We pulled our solar in. So right now the batteries are hooked up mechanically. They're electrically, but lugged. We don't have the closed loop communications done. We got the solar. And then we'll do our AC wiring. We got a power distribution block here. So what we're going to do, we're going to feed the bypass like we always do. Sorry. We're going to put grid on top with a double lug. So we're going to come out of here with grid power, up through, loop, grid, in, loop, and then daisy chain that grid down into the Sol-Ark. That's the easy part. Then our PDB is going to feed that panel and the house, but we're going to move that LB and the house feed over here and pipe up. We got lots to do still. See you tomorrow. Oh, we're back. One of those ice cold days, no sunshine up here in the mountains, freezing our butts off this morning. So let me show you. I hope I can stand back far to kind of tell you what we're doing here. So we run into a lot of outdoor meter bases that have, loads for various things, to run an air handler, well pump, subfeed other buildings, you name it. But the customer, of course, wants those loads to be backed up. So we end up setting another load panel to the right or somewhere on this wall. So we can pull those, we pull all those breakers out and we're putting them in here, all those circuits out. And then we just pull the grid out of that. So the only thing left in here is grid. So the grid is going to feed to the top of this disconnect. It's a non-fused disconnect because we have a breaker here. And then we're continuing through and we land on the top of the bypass. The bypass we daisy chain to the inverter. So, and then from the inverter we have, of course, the pass through of the 15K to the load. And we come to the other side of the bypass, which is on the bottom there, bottom lugs. So we have our choice to go off grid or back on the grid. And then the center lugs are the load. Now the load is a combination of many things. The load comes down, hits a power distribution block that splits to the house, which is one of the loads, so 200 amp panel in house, and then the panel that Willis has moved the circuits over from the meter base combo. And that will feed this building over here. There's another array that he already had here, and that was a 4S4P arrangement. It is now a 8S2P, so that the voltages are right for coming in the third MPPT of this. So again, we brought solar in, and then his strings from the roof will fill this baby up. We got the battery in it's a Pites battery in a Forest RB rack, which is under the crawl space. I'll show you in the crawl space. I'll show you that. It's a conditioned space, and we will close loop that battery here in a minute. And we added a little generator in the standard. Can't even talk. I'm frozen. L1430 plug for any type of propane or gas generator to charge the batteries in a grid down. We're going to add a couple of lightning arresters to these panels. He gets a lot of lightning up here, so we did that. We added lightning arresters to the solar array. So 4 lightning arresters in all. So I just wanted you to see all the guts before I closed it up. And it's like cold down here. And then that's the array. It's 220 feet away from 220 feet away. I was wondering where my kid went. He went inside the truck because it's warm in there. Look at him peeking. Can you see him? Look at that culprit in there. You can just see his eyes. There he is. He's in there. He's freezing. He has no insulation like his dad. So, oh yeah, we brought the equipment to mount the Starlink to this corrugated roof. So we're getting there. Lots of work. Oh, we thought we were going to do, this was kind of a DIY. So the customer has done some great things. He's done some trenching, and he put the solar, dug the trench in, put the 2-inch pipe and brought it to the inverter area. That was awesome. That was helpful. And now we're just trying to wrap this baby up on a Friday afternoon, of course, and turn it on. I'm going to make a plant here in a minute, and we'll see what it looks like on power view. And I guess I'm going to go over the battery next. All right, I'm signing out. I was so frozen that I forgot to shoot the final video. We're up and running. It's dark, it's cold. We have a little firmware update because we have a mix and match battery bank. They're all the same batteries. They're all Pites. They're all good. It's just they're not talking to each other. So we got 4 batteries in closed loop communication, and we'll fix that when we talk to Pites and get the usual, get some firmware updates. So we're good. We're running. And we did our off-grid test, and we'll do some more testing here. But all right. Well, it's dark. I can't see a thing, and my feet are frozen. This is Engineer 775 signing out.